Yo, good AP Reacts. We back with another video. I'll make this short because it's late tonight. But basically, we're just gonna react to how the Knicks, they won their first championship or whatever. But we're just gonna watch Gibbs Arena. They're gonna be talking about it, so it's not too long of a clip. But we just gonna see what they talking about. Give my little 2 cents as usual, and yeah, let's get into it.
Did the Knicks just deliver one of the greatest playoff runs in NBA history?
Yes. Yes. That's domination. Your losses are combined by 6 points. Yeah. When you said that said all I need to. Yeah, absolutely. That's a hell of a run, man.
Dang. They said they combined losses by 6 points. Shee. Oh, that's true. They lost to the Hawks by 1 point. Lost to the Hawks by another 1 point, like 2-3 points. They lost to the Spurs. Well, outside of the Spurs blowout, they're supposed to lose. I think. What game did they? How much? Oh yeah, they lost the game 3 by like 4 or 5 points maybe. Damn. Okay. Shout out Knicks, then.
It's a hell of a run. Your first round, you down 2-1, and
CJ McCollum popped.
Where does it rank?
What do you
where does it rank?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it top 5?
Because I don't gotta really
The run?
do some research.
The run?
Yeah, the run. Yeah, I mean, you got Dirk's run.
I think tied for the 9th best postseason record all time, but again, that 15-1 after that 1-2 start.
Yeah, that
beat a
run
team
there,
by
15-1.
Damn, 15-1. Damn. That's cold, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's cold. There was a machine, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
After the first round, 15-1.
All 4 closeout games.
I'm gonna get that.
Lakers went.
I mean,
That's
because
a hell of a run, dog.
the reason why I'm hesitant is because we talked about whoever wins the East is going to get beat by whoever wins the West.
That was
Who
the
said that?
discourse.
That was a conversation on the couch.
Yes.
That was
Yes,
a
it was.
conversation
Yes,
in
it
the
was.
community.
Yes,
it
it
was
was.
like the
Yes, it was.
East is not strong enough.
Yes, we did say yes.
Because we were talking about Detroit possibly coming out and being and
Boston.
facing the Knicks, and it was like whoever comes out on the East, they're not strong enough to beat.
Yeah, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Looking back, it wasn't clear cut for the Knicks to win. You had the Cavs. You know what I mean? They was playing well. You had Detroit. I don't really think personally they'll make it that far. They didn't have enough help for K or enough shooting. Who else they had? Philly, Joel was kind of iffy, but if he came back, kind of played somewhat decent, I think they could have did it. Boston, JT would just come back off his Achilles injury. So, I mean, it was probably, obviously Halliburton and the Pacers went in the mix. So, I mean, I think it was prime for them to do their thing, man. And they was the most healthy when it mattered the most. So, good for them.
The SGA or Joker or whoever it was on the West that came out. And nobody was thinking that the Spurs would be the team that come out. We was all, I'm not going to say we, but most people were thinking that OKC would beat the Spurs and go on and then go beat whoever's on the East. But that wasn't the case. I mean, 15-1 is very impressive, but you look at the East and you say, all right, they came back against what team? Okay, who was out there playing and who was hurt?
Yeah, I would argue that their most impressive series was the Spurs. Like, I would say that because everybody else was kind of like who they beat in the first round. The Hawks. I mean, Hawks good. I'm a resident Hawks fan, obviously. But peep the hat. But yeah, the Hawks, they didn't really have like no superstar like that. So I thought the Hawks could beat them. I ain't gonna lie, but they beat them. And then who else they had? Second round. Who they play in the second round? Damn, who they play in the second round, y'all? I can't remember. I know. In the final they played the Cavs, but I thought the Cavs probably could have beat them. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. And it was their first year playing together. To be honest, James Harden came in the middle of the season, so they probably still had some little gaps in their play style and how they want to play and all that. But yeah, I would say them when beating the Spurs was their most impressive because the Spurs won 60+ games, the best defense in the league in the playoffs. They beat OKC, who people thought was gonna sweep through the league for the next couple of years. So I would say their most impressive was for sure the Spurs win for sure.
Who was this? Like, them are not excuses, more so than knowing who you're up against. If the East is weak, and if that's what we're saying, the East is weak, and then New York 15-1 it after having a threat against Atlanta it's up in the air because you look at the Spurs trajectory and the path they had to take.
Yeah, I would argue the Spurs was definitely harder, and it's been like that for a couple of years with the West. Like the Spurs first round, they played Portland, which was no slouch. They beat them in 5 games, I think. Second round, they played the Timberwolves, which is no slouch. Obviously, the Timberwolves been to the Western Conference Finals back-to-back years. So they weren't no slouch. Yeah, Ant-Man was kind of injured with a little knee injury, but they were still pretty good. And then obviously OKC, who won almost 70 games this year. Yeah, they was missing their 2 key players, AJ Mitchell and J-Dub, but that's how the playoff go every year. Somebody, you feel me, like you need a little injury luck, you know what I mean? Because last year, OKC won, Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter, they were both hurt, so you feel me? And Nuggets went 7 games with both of them hurt, so I mean, just imagine if they wasn't hurt, so I mean, yeah, every year you need a little injury luck, but I would say the Spurs run was probably more impressive because they had more stiffer competition second round on than the Knicks. But I mean, the Knicks can only play who's in front of them, so I mean, you can't really blame them. But I definitely think the Spurs run was a little bit harder for sure.
Go through who they play first round? Portland. Then the Timberwolves, and then OKC. Like that's a tougher road.
Hurt Timberwolves.
Did I just say that? See, I know what I'm talking about, bro.
I heard OKC. It's tough.
But it's just the team.
Yeah, they were hurt. Yeah.
Who was hurt?
That's what I'm saying.
Who was hurt?
Minnesota?
Anthony Edwards wasn't.
Anthony Edwards. I mean, the whole.
Did he play?
But he wasn't healthy.
Yeah,
Did he play?
Yeah, but who else was out?
Nobody.
Yayo, DiVincenzo. Yeah, they was.
DiVincenzo
Yeah, they was.
out.
Oh yeah, no, my bad. You're right. DiVincenzo did injure, say towards Achilles, so he was out. Ayo had a little injury going on, but I mean, realistically, they was probably still gonna win. It would have went maybe a little longer in the series, but they was probably still gonna win. It was meant for the Spurs to get to the finals this year, What the?
Okay.
Jalen Williams was
They was.
out.
That shit
Anthony Edwards was not
That was an
healthy.
easy road for y'all too.
Okay.
Jalen
So
Williams
does
is out
everybody
for
have an
Thunder.
easy?
Man, I don't want to keep. I know I keep pausing the my fault, but they just keep hitting them points. But I don't want to hear about Jalen Williams was injured. All these people, bro. Every year the champion benefits from injuries. Like even when Steph Curry won his first ring, if you go back every single round, a team was missing a key player of their team that allowed Golden State to go ahead and win. Yeah, they probably still would have won, but it would have made it more competitive. Even that year when they played the Rockets and Chris Paul pulled his hamstring. I forgot what game it was. He pulled his hamstring in one of the games, and so they didn't even play with him like for one or two of the games. So you see what I'm saying? Like every year, the champion usually benefits from injuries, a couple, here and there. So I don't really want to hear it because nobody said, well, OKC won last year. Nobody said Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, he tore his Achilles. He tore his Achilles in Game 7. Like I said, Denver series, AG and MPJ was both hurt. And then, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, they played pretty healthy teams. But like I said, I don't want to hear that with OKC, bro. I don't want to hear it, bro. Because every year, they benefit off of people being injured, too. So I don't really want to hear that.
Bro, every year?
There are injuries every year.
Every year?
Literally won a championship.
I don't want to go back to memory lane.
But y'all was harder than the East for sure.
Or I'm just saying prior years.
They went 7 with OKC. I mean,
OKC defending champ, so that's expected.
And they
That's expected for them to.
I mean, but this team, but these,
Man.
but these dudes, this is their first time in the playoffs.
Man, you're going to get
Nobody expected the Spurs to do this.
Wiggins,
Come on now, let's be
Bro,
real.
yeah, be hating, bro. Yeah, be hating, fool. Like, he just mad because he picked OKC and they end up getting beat because if you keep hearing every time somebody get the Spurs, and I'm not even a Spurs fan like that, I just wanted them to be OKC this year, but you feel me? They got 2 players from Georgia, so I mess with them like as a secondary team, but yeah, Nick, every time they say something about the Spurs, he always come in talking about, man, no, it wasn't really that good. It wasn't really that impressive. Like, bro, shut up, bro. It's like you hating for that.
all right. You're going against Wiggins, Dort, Hockenstein in your starting lineup. And y'all acting like that's like super hard.
What are you talking about? They're
I'm
going
just saying
against.
they had one player. Literally Shea. One player. Literally one player on that team.
What are you talking about,
The
bro?
Spurs, you saying that was hard. Y'all went to a game 7 with just Shea. Dort was nowhere around.
Bro, did you watch the game?
Yes, did you?
What are you talking about? They had a team. They had the whole team except for who?
wasn't the team.
Who didn't play?
Jalen
Williams.
The
One guy.
second best player.
Yeah, that's
AJ Mitchell got hurt in that series.
Yeah, that was
Game 2.
That series. Like he played the rest of the playoff. He played the other games.
But they won 5 more
He
games.
played
in the series.
games prior to that.
If he got hurt in game 2, they played 5 more games in that
They did.
series.
Hey, unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
Fortunate for him. People get hurt.
For them, the team.
And things happen, but that you still got the rest of your team.
So can we just say both sides then were weak then? If we go,
I'm not gonna say that the West was weak because anybody could have came out of the West.
And anybody could have came out of the East.
It's obvious not. If you're 15-1, how could anybody come out of the East if you're 15-1?
Because you got to play the games. That's how anybody can come out of it. You got to play the games.
There's nothing like extra time to play. Enjoy a complimentary third night.
It wasn't a foregone conclusion.
How many
who was gonna come out
7
of
games?
I gotta.
Honestly,
We're having a conversation.
But I'm fine with the 4-1. 4-1.
Who cares that?
Game series was in the East.
That's not who cares? Conclusion.
Was in the.
There's nothing like landing one of the hottest tables around at one of 10,000 red.
It ain't a film. Wasn't a foregone conclusion.
How
who
many
was gonna come out of
7-game
East.
series was in the East?
That's not who cares.
Honestly, they got.
We're having a conversation.
But I'm
fine with the
there was
4-1.
Who cares?
4-1.
Who cares that there?
4-1.
You
Because there were multiple 7-game series on the West.
They did the
Because you
Spurs
gotta
like
play
they
the
did
game.
everybody else, though.
Like the Knicks had the opportunity to go 7, but they were better than them teams. They swept them.
Man. And then they
So
just swept the Spurs.
there were 7 games scheduled. They just didn't need them. Right? All of them games are set. They're scheduled for 7 games. They just didn't need them.
Pistons and Magic went 7.
That's all.
Cavs and
Raptors went 7.
Sixers and
Boston went 7.
Boston is 7, but they all
Pistons and
could have.
Cavs went 7.
Could have, but
So we had 3.
What about on the West?
so there was three 7-game series on the West. I don't believe there was any. Or in the East, excuse me, there wasn't any on the West in the first round.
None in the first round.
Conference semis, you had Detroit and Cleveland that went 7. No games on the West went 7 in the second round, and then obviously conference finals.
so just one.
That's only one game.
So
Spurs
there's only one series. So
But none of them series was the Knicks. The Knicks didn't go 7 with nobody.
no, they whipped ass. They put foot to ass.
They went 6 with the Hawks in the first round. Swept, gentlemen swept.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was scheduled.
No, I mean, now you gotta respect that though. I mean, you gotta respect that though. I mean, at the end of the day, these all still professionals. I know the East get a bad rap because they are. I guess you could say star power wise, they're weaker than in the West. Like West got SGA, Wemby, Jokic, fucking who else out there? Fucking I'm drawing a blank. Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, Luka, Brian. Fucking D Book, like they got some dogs on the West. That's why it gets that rep like that. It's not the fact that people just saying that, but if you look at if you put on the list, each list of, you feel me, what stars in each conference, then what I mean, you would see like, okay, that's what they said the West is the stronger conference because it got more A-list stars over there, So it is what it is. But still shout out to the Knicks, respect to them, man. They still did what they had to do. They still handle who was in front of them for sure.
There were games on there.
Yeah, that was game. It was if necessary. They put in parentheses. It says if necessary. They wasn't necessary.
Which is why I'm going to make the case that the Knicks run was the greatest playoff run ever.
Whoa.
Ever. And I'm going to start with the fact that the Knicks were the 3rd biggest long shot to win it all in the last 50 years. They went in 17-1 odds to win it all. 17-1. It's a long shot. And the candidates that you could say are above them are the Warriors in 2017 because they went 16-1 overall. And then
2017 and 1. 2017. Oh, that's the year they got KD. Oh, duh, man, that shit don't count, fool. Like that shit don't count, bro. Like, I'm sorry, that shit don't count, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I love KD, but I love KD, bro. He's the first player I ever made a highlight video on ever when I was like middle school. I made a highlight video of that nigga. We was OKC. So KD's all that. I was OKC down, like him and Westbrook. You feel me? So there's not no way I love KD. But I don't count those, bro, because you went to the team that literally just won 73 games, bro. Like and Kevin Durant was in his prime at that time. Like he was not no slouch. Like he wasn't no old dude on his old last legs. Like he was dead in his prime. No, before Achilles injury. Like so I don't know. I just don't count that. I just feel like that back then the league wasn't as diverse as it is now. And I called it a couple years ago. Like the league is way more spread out talent wise. You know, I just think it's gonna get to a point where it's no sorry teams in the NBA. It's just gonna be experienced teams and inexperienced teams. I don't think it's gonna be no sorry like, oh, these niggas just ass. Like, because most ass teams, quote unquote, are just young teams who don't know how to win or never play together and stuff like that. Most of these players, like, give it like 2-3 years, it's gonna be the point where, you feel me, like it's gonna be no sorry teams in the fucking NBA. It's gonna be inexperienced, like I said, vets, inexperienced, experienced teams on the come up, and young teams that don't know how to win yet. That's just what they're gonna be. And back to KD, yeah. I mean, of course they went. Who was competing with them? And really, in the 7-game series, yeah, somebody could beat them 1 game, 2 game maybe. But I think the Rockets came close. Actually, I think they came close actually. But I don't know if it was that year. I think it was the next year actually. But I mean, they was just gonna win anyway. I mean, Steph, Clay, Iggy, Dre, KD in their prime, like, nah, they weren't gonna lose, bro. They weren't gonna lose.
You got the Shaq Kobe Lakers of 01 who went 15-1 overall versus 16-3 for these Knicks. But when I look at the 2017 Warriors and obviously the 01 Lakers, they were prohibitively favored to win it all. Like it was over before it started because it was Shaq and Kobe and Derek Fisher and Rick Fox and Robert Horry and Ron Harper was on that team and Brian Shaw. They were just loaded and they were going to win it all. And the 2017 Warriors obviously had added this 7-foot jump shooter from Oklahoma City who just changed it all. So now you got Kevin Durant joining forces with those guys. So prohibitively favored. And yet these Knicks, in point differential, they were plus 283 through their whole 16-3 run. And that shattered the record of the 2017 Warriors, who were overall plus 250. So it beat it by, 230. So it beat it by 53 points overall. So they're going through the East, and I think we all agree the East was weaker than the West, for sure. I mean, you could say it's laughably weaker. But when you look at those 3 closeout games in the East on their path, they're all on the road, and they average winning all 3 of them by 39 points a night. Well, that's ridiculously dominant.
Yeah.
And it is pro basketball. I mean, they do have players who are getting paid, right? And then they get to let's just do the Lakers. They shattered, or didn't shatter, but they broke the Lakers record for winning 8 straight road playoff games. They won 9 in a row on the road. And the 9th was a closeout game in San Antonio against the heavily favored Spurs. And that was the 3rd time they beat the Spurs in their house. In the NBA Finals?
Yeah, that's unprecedented. Yeah, usually, historically, the home team always has the advantage at home. It's always like wherever the home team playing, they probably gonna win just because the role players, a couple calls might go their way, the fans. That's respect, bro. They went in 3 different times and beat them in their home court. So they gotta respect that.
You did that? You went and won 3 times at their place as prohibitive underdogs. I don't know. That's pretty great to me, given the degree of difficulty. I don't know what's not to love about all that. They just kept doing it and doing it when they got on their rampage roll. And then they did it both ways. They did it dominating, and then they did it 5 straight times where they fell behind by 10 or more points. And one night they fell behind by 29 points, and they said, watch this. I don't know. as far as a run goes, how can you get any greater than that as an underdog, right? It's almost like fairy tale-ish, where you just say that's impossible how they did it, but they left no doubt, did they? I mean,
they were able to do it because the team they played against was young and inexperienced.
but they did have the one player that was supposed to be way better than anybody.
How can you say the East?
Greatest defensive season in NBA history according to the square meter.
Yeah.
Well, how can you say the East was like super weak and they did what they did to the Spurs, to the West?
Because Boston wasn't who they were.
But they beat the top team in the West 4-1.
Yeah.
They beat the top team in the
The Spurs is the top team in the West.
I mean, yeah, they came. I mean, they wouldn't. OKC.
They did the same thing to everybody though, but you can't say. That's why I don't get how you say I could see if it went 7 in the finals, but they did the same thing they did to everybody in the East.
But my only pushback on that is, I know people say, "Oh, it don't matter, it still won," but all them games they led, so it just showed they had the formula to dominate the team. They just didn't have the experience to know, okay, with a veteran team, you got to put them away. With a veteran team, you can't get them nothing. You can't get them no easy little back doors, no little easy putbacks, no little wide open threes. You can't give them nothing. They start every time they got a lead, they pull back off the gas. And I noticed the Spurs have an issue that the same thing the Nuggets has, that Jokic, like Wemby, is so good on the floor that when he comes off, it's hard to find a comparison to kind of like fill that gap just to get back in the game. Because I'm a Nuggets fan for obvious reasons, Well, if you don't know, my older cousin played for the Nuggets for 7 years, 8 years, but basically was a Nuggets fan got to watch Jokic dominate for his. I seen him when he first started dominating, whatever. So anyway, the biggest issue that we used to have was that every time he got off the floor, it's a drop off, and he can't play the whole game. He's human, so he can't play the whole game, even if he's conditioned, So that's what they ran into a lot, is that they got the lead and they kept letting off the gas. They didn't have a good backup or like a good like gap filler for when Wemby's off the floor, and you know what I'm saying, they just inexperienced. They didn't know you got to put a veteran team away. You can't let a veteran team linger around like that, especially with a killer like Jay Brunson over there. And I guess they thought, like, you feel me, we could be OKC, we can be any team. And they probably kind of thought, like, oh, we can beat the Knicks because, you feel me, like, we be OKC, and OKC is better than the Knicks. But when the playoffs, it's matchups, bro. It's matchups. It's star power. It's execution, talent, role players, and matchups. Like, it's always that. It's whose role players going to show up, who executes the best, who star players show up the best, and who matches up with who. You feel me? And that's basically the big four that you could say in the playoffs, and the Knicks, they matched up well with them. They had two bigs that can guard them. So, I mean, they beat them 4-1, but I couldn't really just sit here and say, like, oh, they was the better team. I think anybody who watched them, you wouldn't say the Knicks was the better team. You would say they was a more experienced team, but they wasn't the better team in the sense of, nah. Basically, which team had less weaknesses? I would say, like, the Knicks had more weaknesses than the Spurs, but you feel me? The Spurs wasn't experienced, so they kept letting off the gas, and but they still won 4-1. But it should have been a 6 or 7 game series. You feel me? When we don't turn the ball over, they don't let them come back 29. That's 2-2 right there, or that's 2-1 right there. You feel me? So but what ifs, coulda, shoulda, woulda. How that be?
To the Spurs, to the top team in the West.
But does injuries matter? Because y'all say injuries matter one moment, and then you say it don't matter the next moment.
Were the Spurs not healthy?
No, I'm talking about what Brandon was just saying about you got Philly, you got all the other teams on the East that were going through injury problems. Yeah. They didn't have their full rosters and so on and so forth. But New York gets there because you will yourself to win. You find a way to win.
Same thing in the West too, though. If we're
But you look at the West and you look at the teams that we look at to be going to the finals, from the Nuggets to the T-Wolves, to the Houston Rockets, to saying, all right, we expecting these teams to at least face each other and make it a good playoffs. So the Spurs beat the Blazers. We kind of figured that. Yeah. Then you look at the T-Wolves and the Nuggets, I personally didn't think that it was going to end up being a T-Wolves beating the Nuggets the way that it was being promoted. So the Nuggets lose to them. Were they healthy? The Nuggets were they healthy or not? Yeah, they're healthy, pretty healthy.
No.
So it's like they win.
No, the Nuggets weren't healthy. Aaron Gordon was hurt. Christian Brown was hurt. I think that's about it. I think everybody else was healthy. Cam Johnson was healthy. Christian Brown had a rolled ankle a little bit. Maul was healthy-ish. Jokic was healthy. Aaron Gordon wasn't. Peyton Watson wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So, no one talk about that, though.
And then OKC played who in the first round?
OKC played Phoenix.
Phoenix in the first round, and then the Lakers.
Lakers without Luka.
Lakers no Luka, halfway
Austin Reeves.
Reeves.
But they did whoop the Lakers ass all season. So
just say that then. Ant-Man was half.
No,
he wasn't.
They beat the Nuggets with no Ant-Man, remember?
Who beat the Nuggets?
Oh, Timberwolves, remember? Ant-Man was out.
That's what, so think about. So think about the
he
injury.
sure was out. Oh my God, bro. He sure was out. What the fuck? Oh my God. Well, he wasn't out the whole series. He kind of went out toward the end of the series, respectfully. But
we're not gonna use the injuries as a reason why teams shouldn't win. Like,
yeah, I forgot about all that. Honestly, I forgot about all those. But he right. That my thing is, I don't bring up injury because even when, as a Nuggets fan, when we won, we benefit off of injuries. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. First round, Jaden McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? He broke his wrist, so we had a better matchup. Second round, I don't think we facing the injury. I think we played a full healthy team. We beat them. We played the Lakers fully healthy, beat them. Miami fully healthy, beat them. So we only had the injury help in the first round. So I think we one of the few teams who didn't benefit from no injuries, no major key injuries, at least that I know of. You know, and then this series, like I say, yeah, on every side, every team. That's why I say it's luck in it, man. To win the ring, you need a little luck. You need a lot of luck, actually. You know, you need execution, great play, star player, role players, but you need luck. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson rolled his ankle multiple times. If he rolled it just a little bit harder this or that, he might not be able to go. You feel me? That's, you feel me, part of the luck, or, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So, I mean, that's true. I agree with Rashad on that one.
you play with who you got. Then they lost. Ant-Man came back. He played hurt. You lost anyway. SGA, he playing without AJ Mitchell. He playing without Jalen Williams. You still got to play. Chet, step up. All the other guys, step up.
Well,
like, all right, you don't step up.
step back.
Boston Celtics chemistry all over the place. Like,
They didn't have Tatum for the.
But then you look at the Spurs, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper got hurt, went down, XYZ. That's one thing. But SGA, he had his guys, but didn't have his guys. But you know who had all his guys the whole time? Jalen Brunson. Healthy Knicks squad.
Except for Mitch Robinson busted his hand.
And he played anyway.
He can't shoot anyway, so it didn't matter.
So
OG Anunoby mess up his hamstring.
I think OG
He did?
Yeah, some hamstring issues earlier in the playoffs.
was it the Hawks series? I think.
I think it was going into the next series.
Yeah.
These dang ads, man. We gonna watch a little bit more and then we gonna let them ride. I'm trying to get to the scene where he's talking about Becky Hammond. I guess it's not in this video, but I was trying to get to a video where Becky Hammond was talking about Jalen Brunson being a small guard, but I don't think it's in this video. So we can watch a little bit more and then you feel me? We just gonna rock out, go to another one.
Block inflammation in the gut.
That ended up coming back strong. You know? So, I mean, guys gonna be hurt, but you gonna win. You gotta win. I think.
So you said it's the greatest.
So OG only played two games against the Sixers in
I
this
don't know
week.
how. What's wrong with it? Like what? How can you? What can you nitpick on it? What can you? I don't know.
The greatest.
Yeah, the greatest playoff run. Once they flip the switch against the Hawks, flip the script.
Have to have something to compare it to.
Well, I got on just pure one loss. It's the 2017 Warriors and the 2001 Lakers. That's what you compare it to.
Are you saying because it's an underdog story?
And because they shattered records of those teams, what they did with point differential and road playoff wins.
I can see it.
I mean, it's
I
pretty.
can give you that. I can't argue that.
It's just hard to argue against it, and I'm trying because I have a rivalry with Stephen A. Smith, and he confided to me the other night. He said I was just living in fear that your Cowboys are going to break through and win again before my Knicks won again.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Spurs match up to the Cavs as the Cavs were the opponent for the Warriors? You think that that team is like similar in firepower?
Now Spurs.
This Spurs in that 17 Cavaliers team with LeBron, K-Love, and
Hell
all
no,
them.
hell no. Outside of LeBron, like obviously LeBron, he fucking supernova and Kyrie Irving, but outside of that, like hell no, no way comparable, no way comparable.
Comparing those two, as far as the Knicks and Warriors, comparing their opponents.
Okay, comparing
to making it magical. Like
I see what you mean.
The Cleveland Cavaliers is better. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So the greatest, it's like I feel
what? The what? They were more experienced, but come on. Bro, LeBron did not have as much help as Wemby had. Wemby had Dylan Harper, a rookie, coming out averaging 15, 16, and 6 off the bench. Steph Castle, second year. Devin Vassell, Champagne. He did not, man, hell, LeBron did not have that much help, bro. No bullshit. Y'all, I don't know what y'all talking about.
The Warriors had to beat a better team to continue to run as a favorite and to get over that hump. They had to beat a better team. And then we look at the injuries that happened to that team that forced that back-to-back thing to happen, whatever they want to use to say Kyrie was down, K-Love was down, whatever. Like, those are things. So we're matching up the greatest. I would give the Warriors still the favorite over that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the Warriors. Because I just feel like the Spurs, they young and they not experienced. So it's like that's the coach wasn't experienced. First time, it's just I don't know. I'm gonna put a lot on that.
But the teams before they got to them as well, though. It just
I know. So that's why I know. But that's why I think they were the underdogs, though. But that's why I think the Spurs were the underdogs. As much as we were going for the teams, the Spurs to me, because they went from not making the playoffs to making the playoffs, second place, to going to the finals. Like who thought that was coming? Nobody thought that was coming.
I
did. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I ain't think that. I said if the ball bounced the right way, I said they could beat OKC. You feel me? And OKC was the only team I was worried about with the Spurs. Everybody else, I thought they could probably beat them over. You feel me? OKC was the only thing that wasn't say they're gonna make it to the finals, because I was just like injury. You feel me? May happen, whatever, but it didn't, and they beat OKC. So I mean, I knew they was gonna be a dominant team. You feel me? I thought they should have made the playoffs last year. Just looking at their roster, you feel me? Had CP on the team last year. You feel me? Running point. You know, but then when we had the blood clot, so that he ain't finished the year out, but they was gonna make a play-in team for sure last year. So they was gonna get their first experience last year. So, but imagine your first year experience is a finals run. So now nobody can ever say you don't got no experience no more. Like that excuse gone. So now at this point we're experienced. You feel me?
We did not.
But when we talk about Cleveland, though, you think about the Cleveland team. These are two experienced teams.
Okay, but
that matched up in the finals.
Quick point of order, back me up on this, Josiah. Game 1, 2017 at Oracle, LeBron broke his hand after the game, quote unquote.
On the wall.
Quote unquote, Skip. You saw the cast.
Quote unquote. Remember,
couldn't even dap up.
He wears a cast to the post game interview after Game 4, right? After they're swept.
Oh, that's good. That was my year.
Right. Okay, so you got an injury factor there.
Didn't want to make it about.
LeBron had 50 game 1, and then JR did that 6. It was a tough one.
Well,
we knew we was gonna win, but
LeBron had a shot to win the game and passed it to George Hill. I don't.
It was dunking on that.
The usually reliable George Hill.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there, y'all. I thought this was the video where they had the Becky Hammond thing, but obviously it's not on here, so we're just gonna leave it right here. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Like you said, we're gonna be back with more videos. We're gonna start spamming more. You know, I had to get some things right. I had to get some things off the mic or off the camera right. But now I feel like I'm kind of getting back right. Thank God, you know, knock on wood, we can stay, you know, moving in the right direction. So, you know, check the right with me. It's gonna be a better year. Summer right now, so we're gonna spam. We're gonna spam, and next year, you feel me? My goal is next year, y'all gonna see me, you feel me? Making a living off of this stuff, you feel me? And obviously I'm a rapper first, so this is just like secondary side gig stuff, but you know, I want to basically be able to make all my, you know, my hobbies into money. So yeah, but appreciate y'all. I'm keeping y'all great content, and yeah, we're gonna be out. We're gonna be back.